Todd Medina, Soulogy One Studios, with a little quick quotation, Sology style. Got a little something to say about the ascension. I made a decision. I'm bringing my own resurrection. It's my own ass I'm saving. No one gonna do for you what you can do for you. To thine own self be true. We're just bringing what we're feeling here at Soulogy One Studios. No one ain't believing, believing ain't to know. Third eye, top of the head, nothing such as being dead. Stop thinking the world gonna butter your bread. Ascendance, spontaneity. Forget the spit and polish. Time ain't a wannabe. Balling hard for individuality. May you think, question, ask. What are the sun, sin and sun? Take off the mask. Seated, vibrating, sharing, creating, talking one soul nation. Show me another place, we got that. Show me another explanation, covering every story and station. No deviating, we're celebrating, creating, demonstrating truth beyond the lies. Time's up in the universe. Come on down the aisle. Let your heart, mind, spirit fly. Shake your ass, Sology style. We ain't got all the answers, looking past human pride. Soul is bona fide, tripping me up, but I'm tried and true. Got the 40-40 low and high. Infinity sign, double the deuces, what you think? Hang 10, hang 5. Act like gods are pursuing us. Angel dust, those we trust. I know I done had enough. Money pie in the sky, do or die. How can I arrive? Shackled till I come inside. Found the essence of me. Twisted up who I wanna be. Spaceless time, timeless space, time to face. Grace come to trace. Lifelong destiny. I'm just rolling. Share this space with me. Wheels be spinning. World got no hold on me. Can't you see it's what it be? Light is life done found it. Burning up way down inside of me. Brave in the heart. Soul hurting no one. Be what you wanna be. Stone cold. Soul on ice. No more sacrifice. Thunder and lightning. Big pun gave up the advice. Time to bring up the ghetto guard. We got the light and dark living inside of us. Find the best of us, leave the rest of us. Bring it all down till nothing's left of us but what you came into the world with. The only savior is the savior we are to ourselves. Loving ain't easy, but we owe it to each other. Wishing you peace, power, protection, big love, healing, because it's all the same thing. Freedom, love, trust, truth, spirit, and the mighty, mighty soul. One. Happy Easter, everybody. What's happening? We've just been through 3 months and 4 days of 2021, and it's been quite a ride. You know, January and February were a lot of people in hibernation in the cocoon, and you know, we all getting hit with messages from our higher selves, from the universe. Very loud messages. I mean, I think we've gotten to the point now where our focus, you know, either by force or by flow is going to be on ourselves. And the great thing about focusing on yourself, to thine own self be true, is that this is the greatest contribution you can make to humanity, to your brothers and sisters, to yourself. That's, as I understand, the age of the Trinity. It's where your actions, my thoughts, my words, your thoughts, your words, actions, are equally serving yourself, your brother, sister, and humanity, the universe, all at the same time. So I don't know. For now, that's my holding pattern in this transition we call ascension, is to try to make every thought, word, and action be in an equilibrium for all 3 points of that triad and any and every other triad. We just wanted to pop on. It's been a very, very intense end of March, and now we get into April. Got some pretty big days. I noticed yesterday, if you look at the calendar the way that the Americans do, it was 4-3-2-1 blast off day. I don't know how everybody's day was yesterday. I'm hoping that we'll have a couple of people pop in that are going to be part of the SoulogyFest, that are part of the planners. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Yeah, I think Jade Lyons is going to pop on. We might have one or two other the team members pop on. Let me talk a little bit about SoulogyFest. You can find out more information at SoulogyFest.com. The tickets through today are $488, and tomorrow they become $555, and they'll stay that way until the end of the ticket selling. We only got 100 spots that we can have on the property. We've already got about 45 of those slots taken. So we've got about, I want to say 50, a little over 50 tickets left. We also have an online format. It's going to be live streamed with stereo quality. The main stage, the entire time, 24/7. So that'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's 122. You get an MP4 if you attend, or if you attend online, you get an MP4 as well. This should be a very special occasion, this first SoulogyFest. There's a lot of things coming into alignment in the field, in our lives together. We've all been through a lot. We all signed up for this. We all got what it takes. And, you know, we're going to have our moments where we go deep again and deep again and deep again. And the great thing about those moments is you always know it's always darkest before the dawn. The other thing I think that's becoming more evident in our life is that the third energy is cooperating in a way it never has before, collaborating in a way it never has before. A lot of people talk about how reptilian energy has left the earth, the archons have been wiped out, you know, whatever. I personally think it's us doing it, and everybody, let's just keep doing it. Let's just keep digging for those blind spots that we have in unconscious programming, be open to something that we don't see. And you listen to the mirrors that you interact with every day to pick up on what the universe, what your higher self is telling me. I had a pretty cool experience yesterday. There is a dry riverbed in the back of our house, and there's no it's just like a forest basically. And since we moved here in June of last year, I've been visiting it off and on, and there are many portals out there, and there's one in particular that I guess is kind of like my portal. And yesterday, after going through some pretty intense energies the last 2 or 3 weeks, I spent a lot of time standing and walking, pacing, as I looked into the forest and sitting in a chair. I probably spent 3 or 4 hours doing that in silence. It was quite incredible. You know, it's one of those things that you can't prove to anybody, but it leaves an indelible mark on your soul's remembrance. And also, you know, it was an experience which I think a lot of people can relate to if we just stop and think about it. An experience where you become more adept at reading what the universe is saying to you, and, you know, just getting refamiliarized with what we already know. So I had this question for the universe yesterday. Yesterday was one of those days where you're like, man, I don't even want to be here anymore. You know, what's the point? You know, I'm a star seed. I'm a soul. I'm not taking anything away from any of it. This was just my thought process, and I know a lot of people have had it. You know, what's the point of doing Sology? What's the point of, you know, keeping everything going day after day after day? It was one of those days, and so I posed a question to the universe, standing in my portal. I said to it, this is why I feel I'm here. This is who I feel I am, what I am. Please assist me in finding a higher truth and seeing things more clearly. And in this exchange, I got a response, and I got to tell you that the responses at first came through birds, squirrels, the leaves, literally the wind blowing on the leaves above my head at the proper time. I mean, there was just a whole sequence of things. And eventually it ended up, because the sun was going down in my line of vision, so the sun rays were coming through the trees, and I started to see a lot of faces. And it's nothing that I haven't seen before, in terms of seeing faces in rocks or in trees or in between the trees through the leaves, but this was much more visible. There was a lot of color, a lot of kind of wavelengths, and I saw some faces, and I started to converse. And so this is actually how the conversation went in the long run. But in the short run, I was having a discussion with the universe, and I said, look, give me more energy, assist me as I sit in equality with all my aspects here, Todd Medina, the human. Please give me more energy, give me more strength, give me more awareness, wisdom, love, courage, forgiveness, open-mindedness, brotherhood, sisterhood, and transgenderhood, right? It was one of those. And I heard a response, and it was one word. And I can't say what the specifics of it, because it's very private and it's very personal. But the importance of it is how the message was relayed. So I heard a word, and I thought, as we always do, am I making this shit up? Did I hear what I just heard? And I paced back and forth for about 20 minutes and kept looking at the different faces and connecting, and continued to have a conversation with the universe, and basically said, this is where I'm at. Those conversations you have with the universe where there's no bullshit and you just lay everything out there. It's way beyond vulnerability, and it's way beyond surrender. So anyway, after about 20 minutes, after hearing this one word, wondering if I actually heard it, I walked to the left side of the driveway. It's a pretty long driveway, probably about 50, 60 feet, to a spot I hadn't been standing in and observing from. And I looked out there. The sun was just about down, and I kind of giggled, and I just said, oh, well, maybe I'm just fucking crazy. And as I was about to turn away, like to walk back this way, I saw the word that I was told. And I looked at it, and you look at something, you look away, and did you just see that? And I looked back, and it was still there. The universe is communicating with us at all times. The most important words, as I understand it, are the words that come out of our own mouth, even if we're referring to somebody else or to ourselves, because it's the same thing. Those words are probably the hardest ones to hear in terms of seeing them as a direct communication to yourself. I think the next place we get it, these communications, are from the mirrors of ourselves. Our friends, our loved ones, our acquaintances, strangers that you meet. And sometimes those aren't always easy to see in ourselves. And then throughout the day, you get different messages if you're paying attention. And I do think, and I agree with a lot of people, that just being in nature, like in my backyard, in silence, does a lot. It brings alignment. It serves all deficiencies. It's very, very easy to do and very graceful. I was amazed yesterday at how long I actually stood there and sat there in silence. This world is not a crazy place. This world is not a lost cause. This world, and every aspect of it in our lives, is not to be torturous. It's not to be with pain and suffering. We have been turning this thing around for a number of years. People, through their own self-examination, exploration, expansion, their own brutal honesty of the soul, conversations with themselves and the universe. This energy is the baseline energy of this transformation, and that means that you and I are doing the job. And now we're getting to a point where the third energy, the energy that two or more create, is starting to work with us in a very palpable way and supporting us, regardless of what restrictions or whatever else is thrown down. There's a force that's assisting us to meet virtually and in person and exchange soul code to really blast this thing off. And SoulogyFest is going to be something like that. And I hope to see many, many more SoulogyFest and other festivals pop up all over the world. And I believe it'll happen. I believe it is happening. So I just wanted to jump on today. I find that when I'm imbalanced, a good thing for me to do is just get on and do a show. And I wanted to share a little more information on the SoulogyFest, and maybe one of our collaborators will pop on. I'm going to play some videos as well, some music, some light language, different expressions from our friends all around the world. There's geniuses and just incredibly gifted souls all over the world. And we can share that because of this highest manifestation of the ether, physical manifestation of the ethers, which we call the internet. I'm going to find something to play. And I really appreciate you guys being here today and being part of this journey. And I'm going to find something here real quick to put on. I just think today is an important day. Easter always has very powerful energy. Resurrection is a beautiful word because we can resurrect in any moment at any time. We can reset, we can reorganize, we can revisit things that we've said and done. We can bring them into alignment if we're not in balance with them. We can go easy on ourselves and go easy on each other. And we can also acknowledge, I believe, that even given all the energies that have been so prevalent in these last few years, and they get more and more frequent and more abundant in all ways every day, I think we've done a hell of a job. And I think we can see that we're making progress. And I think that we can let go of the fear of thinking this is going to last forever and allow this universe to let it occur in the best way possible. And just to be in alignment with that, align our free will with divine will. Here's a quick, this is a really cool expression. This is Romeo Barron from California. Be back in just a second.
New frequency downloading, recalibration of form as the neural pathways are recoding. networks of energy currents pulsating and vibrating through my bones. Awareness arising, constructs dividing, frequency of love integrated and aligning. The sacred space created as a release eviscerated and eliminated all that no longer is aligned or reflected the frequency of the divine. Vessel of light, ignite the magenta flame, reconnecting, resurrecting, as it burns within my heart again. Memories awakening, timelines disintegrating, instantaneous releasing. The shimmering within, crystalline frequency anchoring beneath the skin. Rushes of ecstatic light energy flowing through this avatar of soul elasticity. Sensual, elemental, divine feminine vibes arise in the vortex of transcendental. Riding the vibrations, embracing the mutations, elevating, recalibrating, light grounding and anchoring. The foundations of the old frequency have finally dissolved. My heart has absolved itself of all connection and expectation. I released, retrieved, and prayed upon my knees until I was empty, creating space for a pure transfusion of divine love frequency.
That's Romeo Barron from California. Yeah, he came down to Sedona. We had a impromptu soul gathering. Thank you to Shakina Rose for donating her space at the community center. And Romeo came down and did a little freestyle light language with Shakina, and then did some on his own. He does a lot of work out there. There's a lot of people that follow that guidance. I think we all do. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this community of crazy people. But we follow that guidance. It's what got us here to this point in time. And, there's things that are presenting themselves louder and louder as the days go by, but we have what it takes to integrate these things. And I don't even remember where I was going with that. But, I just feel like today's an important day, and emotions, energy is in motion. There's a lot of emotion. Yeah. But I think it's because it is an important day. It's an important time. I mean, regardless of whatever our beliefs are, this is a day of importance. Resurrection. And resurrection is a huge word. We are all those things that we've ever read about, seen, heard, imagined. We are the phoenix. We are the Greek gods. We are the angels. We are the star family. We are all the elementals. In all of it contained in the consciousness in a vessel that is the divine human being. I believe we've been given an opportunity to create miracles in a way they've never been created before, in a very heavy density type of realm. And I believe these miracles occur from the core of our life outward. In other words, we've been so trained to look at what's happening on the global stage to get a temperature check of what's going on in my life or in the world or whatever you want to call it. But I believe in our conscious living, our focus on ourselves and our environment that we're physically in every day for a reason, and working with those energies, be they people, places, things, and transforming them into the highest frequency possible. That's the ingredients for miracles. And miracles occur in our lives at the closest points first. And they're happening. Let's see. I'm going to have to read something here. Yes, finally, a massive release of core resistances and transmuting to bring in a new perspective and unity. Finally, mission unity. Yeah, English language is the largest obstacle to our collective miracle being. Yeah, words. I was thinking today when I walked to the back, however this came in, it was like, because it means a lot of different things in one statement. But to keep my mouth shut is becoming more and more of my reality. It's like I don't have to say it. We just know it. Maybe it's that intuition and telepathy coming online. So yeah, I appreciate you sitting with me today, and I hope I'm not being too boring. But it's been a lot of energy, and I think a couple of people said it's been a very emotional weekend. I'm going to find something else here and make a couple of quick instant messages to see if I can get one of the collaborators to come on. I'll be right back. Let's see what we got. What do y'all want to hear? Let's see. Let's do something. Let's do a little bit of who we got here. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is our brother Lawrence.
Well, we thought we'd just give it a try and do a live video, recorded video. Today's been a great day so far. It's mid-afternoon. I did my own little baptism in the Mississippi. Took a bath, did some laundry. Oh yeah, these little entities, these thought forms that attach to, that feed on fear and suffering. These are beings that attach to the auric field of the human. And if you can get out into natural flowing waters and just dunk yourself, go for a swim, go underneath, submerge yourself for a few seconds, as long as you can. It breaks the piezoelectric connection between you and the entities. It frees you from the attachment of these things that have to leave you until the next time you give permission by moving into judgment consciousness. So it cleanses you. Do it often, because the humans, it takes practice to retrain the mind to stay neutral. But natural flowing waters are the best way to break that piezoelectric connection between these entities and you, and give you a fresh start, a clean, fresh start, to again practice remaining free of prejudice or judgment, fear, those things that you adhere to that give permission for that darkness to adhere to you. So anyway, take life with levity, enjoy every moment you can. It's all happening for you, not to you. So it's all good. Take life with levity. Love you all.
Thank God somebody showed up. I'm totally dying. I'm totally dying out here. I feel like a comic that's having a bad show. How's it going, Bert? How's it going?
It's going well, man. How are you?
I'm just, I don't know, this new way of living, being discombobulated and balanced at the same time.
Yeah, I feel that. I woke up this morning, no idea it was Easter, and I'm like, why is there so much traffic? Why is everyone driving so slow? It was like the epitome of the Sunday driving experience. And I went to go grab breakfast, and it was just like every single place was just like parking lots were jammed, and I was like, what is going on? And I always thought that Easter was later in April, so I don't know. I guess it's decided by the full moon, I guess. So it makes
I don't know.
more sense.
I just know it shifts every year.
Yeah,
I
guess it's the first Sunday after the first full moon of the official spring.
Okay. Now we know. You learn something every day. So, you want to talk a little bit about SoulogyFest?
SoulogyFest. Yeah, that's I'm getting super excited. I mean, outside of just the million people hitting me up, which is great. I've never been so popular, Todd.
I've only answered about 5 out of about 50. But I thought maybe we could talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah,
try to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, it's great. It's really gearing up. I had an amazing walkthrough this past week. I don't know if you had a chance to dial in on that live stream I did, because I was kind of testing all the live stream and the uplink and upload speeds and all that.
Hang on a second. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
But yeah, so did that little live stream from there, just kind of testing to make sure that we didn't need to bring any additional infrastructure to be able to pull off the Sology caliber live stream for 3 days straight, basically. And I think we're going to be 100% fine with that. And the space is amazing. Shams is out there, basically, like he and his crew are out there like every single day, just like dialing it in.
Really?
I mean, it's like they're just, I mean, Shams is really, really big into permaculture and organic gardening and really trying to bring about this change in the new earth in terms of like having people, growing their own food, because we lose so much value, by the time it ships from overseas. The produce has lost half of its nutrients by the time it reaches your table.
Right.
So he's trying to, he's created this project called the Sedona Greenhouse Project, and that's kind of the home base for it. So he's building like this amazing greenhouse there on his property. But yeah, he's got this amazing sound healing dome. There's this, where the main stage is going to be, where all the presentations and everything are. It is it's basically this large Bedouin tent, a big festival tent.
Right.
It's like 20 yards by like 40 yards is like the size of the tent. So we'll be able to kind of have like some of the vendors set up on the inside of that. So we can kind of keep that as like the centralized type area. But yeah, there's an in-ground sweat lodge that everything. It's funny. One of the workers, as I was talking to him about the greenhouse they were building, he just kind of laughed, and he's just like, yeah, it's a little over-engineered, but that's kind of the case for everything out there. Everything is just immaculate and beautiful.
Yeah. I tried to download that video so I could play it, but it won't let me download it. It must be on the permissions.
That's okay, because I had an idea I was going to run by you, and I was going to talk to you about further testing of the live stream, and maybe doing it like on the Soulogy show, so we could actually maybe meet with Shams and talk to him a little about what it is that he's doing out there in the land. Yeah, and then we can pop in the sound healing in the dome and play some music and have you kind of do some flow. But yeah, that way everybody gets a chance to see it. And we get to do some more testing at the same time. So
I hope I can flow. So I've been in here. Ty sent me some music, and because I told him I hadn't written any music in like 2.5 years. So I've been trying to write, and I've been struggling. But I did find some good grooves with the music he sent over. You guys, both of y'all put some nice stuff together.
Yeah, that's got Ty in his highest excitement, back over in there working on some funky stuff. He's he's got this self-proclaimed one-man funk band.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. He he just kind of pops in his office and starts jamming. I'm surprised he's not here right now jamming, but maybe it was a late night for him last night. Who knows? But yeah, so it's interesting. We got a photo shoot going on in the studio right now. Some lovely musicians from Seattle are in. They've just moved here to the area, so I've been working musically with them, and excited about some new projects that I've got coming up musically as well. And then Todd's kind of or Ty, when we're not working together, when we work together, we work mostly in the meditative, binaural frequencies and do more of the healing stuff. But then like he turns on the funk, and he just
Turns
jumps
on
in.
the funk.
He drops into his highest excitement, and he has no interest in techno, and I'm a techno DJ, so he's got that funk, and I got that techno stuff. So it's always interesting.
Well, that would be cool. Both of you get on a deck and just DJ together and go from the techno to the funk. So huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say. So we're gonna have quite a bit of musical accompaniment at the SoulogyFest. Pretty much, have like a skeleton set up anyway, so we can improvise. And I know when I speak, I would love to have music behind me. There's something about that. I don't know. There's something about freestyling. Freestyling can just be talking. It can be dancing. It can be anything. But just to do what comes up at the time, and who pops in at the time. So,
yeah, exactly, and that's part of the flow of Sedona in nature, and that's why this is like really just the perfect setting for this festival, because it's only we're what 2 months out at this point, month and a half out, and I still have no idea who's going to be in town. So like it's kind of one of those things like, it's you wait until kind of things start to pop in and flow in to really make that decision on who's going to be playing. I got a couple really, really amazing musicians and producers that I know are going to be in town. They're going to be flowing, probably pop out and jam with us. But there's a couple I have my eye on their travels that may be traveling through here at that point in time. So,
well, we'll leave that up to you. We'll leave that up to you. You just do what needs to be done. So I don't have to mess
Can
with that.
am I able to share a screen on this thing?
Yeah, I think so. Hang on. Let me see here. What is this? Yeah. You should have, well, maybe not. Yeah, no, you should have a little TV icon with a red line through it. You see it?
Yeah.
Click that.
Okay.
Did it work?
Yeah. Looks like it. Yeah.
We can't see it. Can you see it?
I can see it now, but let me see. I was gonna share. This was just kind of like I'm actually working on like a promo video with this as the foundation. So I've been playing this for the last couple of days and really kind of enjoying it. But this is not many people have actually seen this, because we didn't really do anything with it when it was live. But this was some footage from the live show we did over at the Posse Grounds with you doing like your little free flow with like the musicians in the background.
That was cool.
So people can kind of get an idea of what the musical flow is going to be. Nothing is ever scripted with us. We just kind of like, whatever musicians are present, we just kind of pop in and flow, and then whoever wants to pop up and flow is amazing. I ran into Shakina Rose at the water store the other day, and she was like, that was an interesting conversation. She was just like, I've never actually gone up to a stage where like the energy was just already set and the container was already set before. And I was just like, well, yeah, that's how we do,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That was exactly right. Yeah, she was incredible.
Yeah. So let me see if I can do this real quick. I've got it pulled up. I've got it pulled up here.
Is it coming up?
Select window.
Yeah.
Entire screen.
I can play them as a video.
What's that?
I've got a couple of those clips. I can play them as a video.
Yeah.
I got the Shekinah clip.
Nice.
And I got that other one that you made.
I don't know if it's going to let me share this or not. Can you see that?
Nope.
No. Watch with picture in picture. How about now?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well,
Here, let me pull up the. Hang on, I'll show you one.
yeah. It's if you can share it, it's just on the Vibrational Empowerment YouTube page.
I can probably download it.
I see Christy Grace is in the house watching. I don't know why she's not joining us.
Christy's she's just, man, she's dynamite.
Yeah,
she's incredible.
Yeah, I absolutely loved working with her for Resonate. And I don't know if you know the story behind how her and I ended up working together. It was really just kind of this divine flow.
What happened?
Well, so I just moved. I'd been in Sedona, probably 6 months at this point in time, and one of the things I knew when I moved was that when I moved, I was coming out to produce a festival out here,
right?
And and you know me, so like I don't force anything. As everything is either flow or it's not, and if I try to start forcing things. If I try to start forcing things, then then shit just goes haywire. So it was getting to this point where it was like, well, starting to feel like it wasn't going to actually happen. And then Neil and I, we had just got back from a Chicago trip, and we were like super exhausted. We got in at like 2 a.m. From driving across country, and I was like, oh, just so you know, we got to get up early and go play for this kids camp. And he just looked at me. He's just like, what? He's like, are we getting paid for this? And I'm like, no. And he's just like, he just kind of gives me the scowl. And I was like, I don't know what it is about this, but we have to go. And he's just like, all right, and kind of Neil's kind of way. And so we show up, and then I get there, and I hadn't even found a venue yet. And we get there, and it's at this place called Jackpot Ranch in Camp Verde. And I'm like looking around this place, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is it. Like looking at everything, all the different areas, and I'm seeing all these people and all these stages set up. It wasn't set up that way. I'm just kind of like, that's the way my mind works. I'm just kind of visualizing it all. And then Christy walks up, and I don't know if she saw the look in my eyes or something like that, but she just looks at me, and she's just like, oh, it's such an amazing space, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I've always wanted to do a festival here. I just looked her dead in the eyes, and I'm like, let's do it. I don't even think I knew her name yet. And I was just we're planning a festival at this point in time. So it was like such a beautiful thing. And then, when the aspects of that reality that I don't excel in, the exact aspects that she does so well. And as you've seen from working with her and working with the crew, she's just on point, and just greatly appreciate and respect all the work that she does. And
absolutely.
Always excited to work with her.
Yeah, she's incredible. Let me show you this. This is from the Shekinah Rose clip.
Okay.
Here we go. Man, if you know Shakina like I know Shakina, and by the way, Shakina, she lives in Sedona. She's going to be part of the show. Her partner, Tim Smith, is a music producer. He's also a multi-instrumentalist like Ty, and he may bring his mandolin. They may do something unique. But Shakina, I met her the first time, or the second, I don't know, first time I went through there. And we did a couple of collaborations, and we did one at this house I was staying at. And we just set it up, clicked on a live. She'd never been backed by music before. And, she was like, okay, we got to get this straight and that straight and this straight. And I just handed her the microphone. I said, look, just leave me to it. And literally went like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Right at the time we were supposed to go on, like noon. We flipped it on, and it was incredible. We had an incredible experience. But what I was talking about is she's very much a perfectionist, and for her to go step up on the stage like she did and to put that out, that's the kind of energy that we're talking about. Because so at the festival, we've got 14 hours. It's either going to be it's a kind of an open thing, and it's going to be what Jade's talking about, what he's going to put together. It's going to be a sonic alchemy, which is Jade and Ty set and or accompaniment, and other people coming up and expressing themselves, instrumentally, vocally, lyrically, whatever comes up. So this is part of what I think the Sology energy is. It's the way we've done it in the past. It's always seemed to work pretty good to set a little time aside and just to let people belly up to the bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because one thing about this environment, it's an environment where there is like a thickness. There's a palpability to the atmosphere, like Shakina was talking about when she met you at the water store.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people step out in this, in the handful that we've done. We've probably done 7 or 8 small gatherings, and people just come up. I mean, they might give a testimony. They might do some light language out of thin air. I mean, whatever. And it's pretty cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of always the theme, it's just like, just tapping into that flow and into that source consciousness, and just really just kind of like working collectively with whatever is there. Everyone has their own unique gifts, and part of what I do is allowing those gifts to come through. It's like I get all these musicians that come up and they'll play with me from time to time, do events all around the world. And, and the musicians almost every time they'll just come up and are like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to do? What's going to empower you?
Yeah.
What's going to be your highest high, that you can bring in, that's your gift, and share your gift in this setting with the rest of us who are also sharing our gifts simultaneously and creating this alchemy, musical and energetic alchemy that's just so profound, and it's so deep, and it does open up that container because, it's an interesting thing that I've come to realize over the years. It's like, having 20 musicians on stage doesn't necessarily make it sound that much better. In fact, it creates a whole bunch of issues on the sound side of things. But what it does is it creates this container and this energy that just can't be replaced and can't be duplicated in any setting, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, that's right. And this clip that I found, I think this is the one that you're using, or you're going to be using, or part of it for the promo for the trailer. Mm-hmm. This captures, I think, what you just said. So I'll play a bit of this. It's 7 minutes long, but I'll play, maybe 3-4 minutes of it.
Yeah.
This is the kind of energy he's talking about.
It's an energy a lot like vibrational empowerment network. It's all about the I am soul. We've been doing a lot of talking about this virus and about this politics and this religion and all this other stuff, all these distractions from what the real story is, why we're all here. I think it's about time we have at least 50% of everything that's put before us be about who we are, and what we're a part of. Conscious colored energies hailing from the other side. Alternating currencies, healing frequencies are alive. Pleasing demons lost and found. Angels, hands of angels, thorns all crowns. Light workers, white, black, red, yellow, brown. Self-inflicted burden spark, healing freakish tendencies. I finally found my mark, coded neath the tendencies. I sip and swallow just the same, yin-yang vial of consistency. Come on, baby, play the game, pop the vein, spirit of serenity. Blessed by fear's selling epiphany. Fatal dreams found to lose, earth face and anomalies. Dirt shines, diamond blind, every card's coming, aces, one kind. Journey to a divinity, shedding skin and conditioned sins. Erasing false realities, journey of extremities. Chaos in the harmonies, finite to infinities. Postulated possibilities. Freedom is fearless, and it is free.
Okay, we've been joined by our accountant.
Sideways accountant.
Here, let's see. Let me fix this up. How's that?
She's still sideways. She's just down below us. She might need to change justification on her phone.
Oh no, hers she's straight up. She's straight up on this one.
Oh yeah, she's definitely sideways vertical on my screen.
I did a show with a lady.
My reality is always twisted and backwards, so it's definitely.
I did a show with a lady, a beautiful lady named Ingrid out of Norway. We did several shows together, and she would always come on. I'd have to put a picture of her, right? Because she didn't want to be on screen. So finally one day, and she's hilarious. She's full of wisdom. She's very, very direct. Anyway, so finally I talked her into coming on video. So when she came on, she was upside down. For the entire video, she was upside down.
She's going to be sideways for me. Apparently, she's not for anyone else. So I don't know what that means.
Sideways for anyone else? Maybe
just for me, because I'm on the chat, so it looks like everyone is.
Everybody's good.
Jade is very exceptional, so that doesn't surprise me. Hello, happy Easter.
Hello.
Happy Easter to you. Do you have any intel on this past 2 or 3 or 4 days and the intensity of everything we just went through?
Well, yeah, I went through a lot too. This has been a really rough week, but I don't really want to talk about it yet. I want to talk about the venue because the venue is so amazing. So I can't wait till Jade can do that live stream, because I think what a lot of people are missing is probably the tangible location of it. When you're a little bit more visual, you can kind of pick up the vibration of the field. And what I love what Jade was talking about is how him and Christy came on site and they didn't know each other, but they kind of like in the future planted a seed of creating a festival there, because it is beautiful. And I'm speaking from a place of being an interior designer, also intuitively guided to create spaces and architectural white spaces like that. There's something exceptional about that space. And once we're able to share that with the attendees, you're going to feel the magic of it as well. So the owner, and correct me if I pronounce his name wrong, it's Sham, is that correct, Dave?
Shams. No one really wants to be called a sham.
Okay, Shams. Okay. I'm ESL. So Shams has done a beautiful job of following his intuitive guidance in creating little pockets of oasis and also heightening portals. So the sweat lodge, for example, there's one of the how big is the actual venue? Do you know in terms of acreage?
I don't know the exact acreage, but it's really well laid out. They really have done a really good job of optimizing the space that they do have there.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near like the size of the footprint of like the Jackpot Ranch where we did where Christy and I did Resonate Festival. But it's definitely really well planned and laid out, and there's just this feng shui, this flow about the whole property that just really, it's really immersive in there when you get in.
Yes, yes. So what he has done is I can tell he has intuitively connected with his personal guides on figuring out where the high points of the land are and then placing like the most sacred spots on there. So for example, his the sweat lodge, which is not like one of the areas that I think will be accessible to us, but you can view it from the side. It is just, there's so much ancestral embracement in there, which basically is the power spoke of his entire land. So I'm not sure what his lineage is, but you can feel like all of that energy coming through on there and just shooting out in it. And the other place that I love, and I'm so sad because I can't go there, is the pool that you had mentioned. Again, we're not sure it's going to be accessible to the attendees, but you can definitely gawk at it and appreciate the beauty and the art behind it. So the pool looks man-made, but it has been done, styled very naturalized, right? Like it's not, yeah, so it's like a 10-foot, apparently it's a freezing pool. So there's, I guess it's not heated, is that right?
It didn't look, I don't think it's heated, but I mean, we're in the middle of the desert, so you don't really need the heat.
You're talking to a Canadian girl,
the sun is the absolute best energetic heater a pool could ever have, and when you live in a desert.
Yeah, so if you are like a water element and water really calls to you and you're hyperventilating a little bit with like being away from that source, not to worry. He's done a beautiful job on balancing the water element right in the center of it, and you can feel the distribution of water and fire just kind of between those two zones when you're walking through it. And basically he's kind of circled the area because with Sedona there's an intense earth and fire energy that flows through there, right? And water is the element that is, I would say, is probably lacking. So to create
not really, because we have the creek that runs through the entire town.
Well,
yeah. So it's kind of like there's a lot of that's actually one of the things that when you come here, most people really observe that they didn't expect is the flow of the water element in here, and I think that really helps to kind of create this really interesting energetic flow that people just tap into when they come here to Sedona.
Yeah. And I love that on the property because I wasn't expecting that too. That was one of the things I wasn't expecting. I just thought, I've never been there. So of course I'm like super judgy and I'm like, oh, it's a desert, you know, like equivalent to a litter box. There's nothing interesting going on, but gorgeous, so beautiful. And the background of it, like just the years of alchemy of Gaia carving out the background, and you see the layers and layers of all the different soils and just stories dropped on top of each other. It is such a beautiful venue. So even if you, for example, don't like Todd and you're not into music, come for the venue. It is amazing. It really is one of those ones where it's like you go there and it feels like you're home. It's like a home base for you, and you're like, I've been here. Even though personally I haven't had many lifetimes on here, but I can tell it's a homing beacon. Like you really feel embraced there. And when you're speaking about the slots, how Todd has cleverly designed it, he's left a lot of open slots for anyone that wants to come on stage and share their gift. And like what Jade was saying, it doesn't really matter if you think you're like the best or the master or whatever it is. All of that doesn't matter. What matters is when you come there, you are going to be embraced in this net that you feel like you are a masterpiece. Whether or not you are or not, that's all left. All that judgment is left at the door when you come on. And this place holds it so well. And it's one of those things where it's just like breathtaking. So I can't wait till you are able to like unleash that clip of the venue, because holy Hannah, like if there was such thing as a 5-star resort, I'm a snob, okay? I don't travel unless there's like very strict rules of my comfort level. But that place is so well done. like you've done such an outstanding job of intuitively picking it out, and the fact that it's the first SoulogyFest jump off point, it's so well done. I've been to a lot of places, and this one is equivalent to an experience I had in Mexico, where it was the Hotel Mexico Xcaret, where they really tapped into the intuition of the land and the magic of the land, and they heightened it with basically man-made structures with an honoring Gaia at the same time, basically not like desecrating the natural beauty that's already there. So yeah, I'm so excited about that. And there's like lots of cute little pockets. So if it gets too peoply for you, because some of us are like high level intuitives, and you kind of need your own space so you don't vomit. There's lots of cute little pockets that you can just go out on your own and just like stay in that space and have a little bit of a respite for it as well.
Yeah, there's a ton of spaces and areas. I mean, right now, I mean, our focus has pretty much just been on the content for what we're doing in that Bedouin tent. And we've got that whole, like there's the dome that's built for sound healing and meditation. So, you know, keeping that kind of as a container where people can just kind of go in and flow in and drop into that space and just deep relaxation. I feel like that's something that's really been calling to me in terms of utilizing that space. But yeah, there's just a ton of different things. Outdoor seating with some shades. There's a outdoor, what is that? A wood. So Julia, the name of the location is a private facility near Bear Mountain. That's
top secret.
Yeah.
That's
So when
you
you purchase the ticket, the address and the directions will be given out, but just for sake of respect to the land and not wanting random pop-ins all the time, Sham says he doesn't allow anyone to post the address publicly unless it's somebody that's coming to the venue. So he really is honoring and respecting the lands, and you know, wants to kind of keep the purity of that in that way.
Yes, and I can see why. It's one of those ones where you are so proud of the land, but at the same time, the land calls out for a very like specific type of person to enter it, and you'll know if you enter it and you start going like wigging out and all that. It's the land speaking, saying that, you know, there's a huge level of sacredness that comes with it. So just publicly posting that address for whatever reason, I can see why. Because I didn't understand that when you said that to begin with.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is sketchy. Like, what is this place? But then you see it, you're like, whoa, that's a secret location, and I can see why the owner wants to keep it that way for sure. Because if I was that landowner, I would be the same. Yeah. Yeah,
it is definitely his own little private oasis, you know, and I'm really grateful that he's allowing us to come in and host this. Like I said, it's basically a working, you know, it's a working. I don't want to call it a ranch or a farm because it's all of the things. But yeah, I mean, really, he's creating his own oasis out there with, you know, trying to change the way that people live, you know, kind of keeping it all off grid and sustainable. And so, you know, his vision for that isn't hosting festivals. His vision for that is using the lands to basically, you know, provide a change for humanity. And so the fact that we're able to pop in and do this there, I'm just so grateful that he's opened up the space for us in this way.
Yeah, I agree.
Right on. And you never know what you're going to get in these open mic moments. Franco De Nicola is going to be speaking each of the 3 days. He's done a lot of work for the community. I'm looking forward to seeing him there. And I do believe that him and Ty are going to collaborate on some type of funk.
Allow yourself to be in the funk. Experience the funk. Be there in the funk. Acknowledge the funk. Thank the funk. Be there in the funk. Experience the funk. Acknowledge the funk. Thank the funk. It's like the energy doesn't create funkiness.
You never know what you're going to get at SoulogyFest.
I can see that happening for sure.
I absolutely can see it happening because I'm going to make them do it. You know, the crazy thing is, and these are the validations that our energy is so much bigger than we even know. So there's this really cool DJ up in let's see, New Jersey area, Atlantic City area. And anyway, he hit me up, you know, he sent me some tunes when I was making music and all that. Anyway, he saw a show with Franco, took his course, and that's from one of his courses. And he made this. He made it and sent it to me.
Has Franco seen it yet?
Yeah, he's seen it. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Yeah, you know, you can just feel the alignment. Like, it's weird. We went to Texas in February and they had that big winter storm, and there was all these levels of alignment I could see. You know, I could see for a period of time, like, you know, maybe a few days, but I could see them all. And that was, of course, kind of extreme conditions, but everything was just such a flow in the moment. It was all this different alignment, all these timelines collapsing. And I feel like this is the same type of energy. Like with what you just said, Hung, everything you just described, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Very well articulated. Very well articulated. Thank you.
All right. So there is a couple of housekeeping things that we do need to talk about the Soulogy Fest.
Oh, we do.
Prices will be increasing. So anyone that's been sitting on the fence trying to decide if they're going to go or not, you definitely should go. Definitely, the venue is amazing. You're going to be surrounded by amazing people. It's going to be a nice reprieve from the year of chaotic COVID for sure. And when is the price going up, Todd?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so you have 1 day. It's going up. So prices today will be held at $488 for the 3 days. There may be a bonus free experience on the Memorial Monday, and it will be going up to $555 starting tomorrow. We have also added a live stream option for anyone that can't join because of whatever reason. So that's what Jade was out there actually the middle of the week testing out the tech to make sure that we could live stream from it, and it will be $122. Is the live stream available on the ticket platform, Jade?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so, and we also have a couple beds left. I think there's about 10 or 12 left for the Golden Light Retreat, which is a hostile accommodation. So you have to be very comfortable sharing your personal space with other people, but you will have your own bed unless you choose not to, and that's fine too. So that is $222 for the 3 nights, and that is also on the same platform where you can book your tickets. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then it's really important to note also that the Golden Light Retreat Center is not the venue. We're working on accommodations from the retreat center to the venue itself. So those two things need to be considered separate. So there is no lodging as part of this package. It's not a camping type place. There's a few things I am working on though. There's a friend of mine just bought a property in that same kind of pocket as the venue. So I'm looking at seeing if he'll allow us to have some primitive camping. And by primitive camping, I mean there's a dirt floor and you can pitch a tent or bring a camper in, but there's no water, there's no hookups, there's no anything. You're on your own for everything with that. Sedona is an interesting place, particularly that weekend. So if you are considering it, definitely look into the option of hotels or Airbnbs or the Golden Light Retreat Center while we do have some rooms available. because that is going to be a prime time here in Sedona. So just know also that, like, when you do buy the accommodation package, it does not include the ticket to the festival itself. That's strictly just accommodation.
Yeah. That's the busiest weekend in Sedona of the year.
Yes.
What I was told.
Yeah, that and the one we just got through with spring break. So it's been last weekend was intense over here too. So definitely if you are looking in Sedona, I would say look to West Sedona before you look into things over in VOC, just for sake of not having to go through the traffic of, I know, Todd, you're staying in VOC, so I apologize in advance for that. But so I'll be expecting to hold down the mic while you're frantically texting me, oh man, I'm stuck in traffic. I'll
go to Cottonwood. I'll go the other way.
Yeah. Well, I still know I'm going to get those messages. That's just
I'll probably sleep out there.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Another
will be like, oh, there's a hurricane at my front door, because that's just what he does. Get there.
Yeah.
Another person that's going to be there is Michael Mejia and Gabriella Young. Here's a short clip of some of Michael's work.
Stars spiraling from water to sky, bones to dust, dawn to dusk, man to mastodon, butterflies chasing the light of time back into empty space. The ocean splits as the blood of love bleeds from the soul of creation. Moses appears. He never left. As we move back into the dark, we remember that we have always been the light.
Man, see, that's another thing. We'll mix it up. You're going to have a lot of variety in terms of genres and in terms of expressions. That was pretty intense.
Yeah, I love working with him. That was, it was such a really another really awesome story with that. It was the day that you brought Michael over to the studio. I had just got done. I had just met Gabriella 2 nights prior, and I was asked to go help out to do sound for this event over at the Chocolate Tree, and I was sure I'll go, and then and I went over, and it was this group of people, and they were playing music, and Gabriella Young was reciting her poetry. She works with Hafez and Rumi, and just so powerful. And I was just watching, just heart completely ripped wide open, and just watching her in her essence. And as this is happening, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm like, I've just started calling in, performing music with like the live spoken word poetry. And then 48 hours later, you're standing at the door with Michael, and we're like, you're like, yeah, I figured we could just go in and jam and see what happens. And it was just like this immediate manifestation, and so then from there, like, I was like, man, I was talking to Michael about 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 how the synchronicity of that was all in play, and just talking to him about how powerful that was. And he's just like, wait, are you talking about Gabriella Young? And I was just like, yeah. He's like basically telling me this story about how he was in Sedona just randomly and saw her, and it was like this life-changing experience for him. Yeah. And then now all of a sudden they're in touch, and then they start working together, and it's just been this amazing journey of just like trusting that flow and just allowing that, yeah. And then to answer one of the questions in the chat, Arizona is an interesting time zone. We are Mountain Standard Time. You can type in AZMST. We do not participate in daylight savings, so it's always tricky time zone wise. But yeah, just AZMST is the time zone if you're looking for travel accommodations and things of that nature.
It's West Coast time.
Is it West Coast?
At this point, at this time it is. Yeah, every time I'm going to send you a note and there's a time involved, I always go Sedona time on Google.
Yeah.
To make sure, but we just had daylight savings time, so it'll be this way for a while.
Yeah. Until the fall.
44 in the house. Well, y'all got anything else? You good? Thank you, Hung, for coming in and articulating so well the whole thing. That was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That was perfect. Perfect read.
The venue is gorgeous. Gorgeous. If we can do a live from there, that would be solid for everyone that is missing out. Don't miss out.
Julie, awesome. We'll see you there. Julie just messaged, said she just bought her ticket.
Oh, very cool.
Awesome.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
And Todd, is there a private group for all of the attendees that bought tickets set up? I can't remember.
There's a SoulogyFest community for people that have bought tickets so they can coordinate, cars and going to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I checked it this morning. There's probably a little over half the people that have tickets are in there. I'll go double check and make sure everybody got an invite.
Okay. Sounds good.
Happy Easter.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all.
All right.
Maybe we'll do it again in a few days.
Have a good one.
All right.
We'll see you.
Bye.